So welcome to Nurtur Talks. I'm so excited to be here with the girls, Andrea and Alex. Today we're going to be talking about quite a few things, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. What do you guys think about wellness? Like, what does wellness mean to you?
So I feel like wellness for me just means taking care of yourself, just like you would take care of anyone that really needed you. You know, the same way you take care of a good friend, the same way that you take care of your sister or your brother. Like anybody in your life that you love, that you would take care of and do anything for, you treat yourself and think of yourself in the same way. Yeah. That's what I feel like wellness really is for me. Yeah. And what I'm currently going through and like learning that wellness is for me. Yeah. Taking care of myself the same way I would take care of like anyone else.
So what would that look like, I guess, for you?
Like the actual things I would do?
Yeah.
One thing I really like to do to make sure that like just like mentally and emotionally like I'm in tune is journal. Even when like there's nothing necessarily bothering me, it's just like a good check-in. It's kind of like the friend who always just sees like, hey, how are you? How you been? Like when you journal to yourself, that's what that is. Yeah. And sometimes at least for me, I found that sometimes there will be things that are on my heart that I didn't even know until I started writing. Until I started writing. So it's like, it's a really good way to even like take care of myself when I'm going through something, when I'm actively in the process of feeling some type of way, but also like proactively before something even gets really intense in my heart, in my spirit. The journaling helps a lot. Like that's something I do a lot that helps me so much. Yeah, I love journaling. I really do.
So I have a question, just real quick.
Yeah.
So as a student, one thing that I struggle with is like reading on my own and writing on my own. And I want to journal a lot, but it's like I write all the time and I don't want to write anymore, you know? So it's I don't do it sometimes because I'm constantly, always like writing. And it's like, I know it's good. I know it's like helpful. I know it's, but then I'm like, but I know I gotta go write. I gotta go write.
I gotta go write again.
So it's like, do you ever feel like that? Or did you ever feel like that when you were? Yeah,
absolutely. I think for me too it's good to. So I have a couple different ways that I journal, kind of.
Okay.
I journal physically, that's just writing in like a notebook. That's like the main way. But I also do voice memos. I will like literally like pick up the phone and start talking to myself outside like I'm talking to somebody on the phone. And like I do that all the time. I'm like, and I just don't know why he would say that, and I don't know why she would say that to me. I'm in Target, people think I'm talking on the phone. I'm talking to me. So that's another way. It's kind of like more low energy because I feel like talking, it's just like the thoughts come out easier versus like you can't write as fast as you think. Yeah. So it literally takes time and it will make like your hands cramp and everything. So I do that. Voice memos can help with that, and also text myself sometimes. Like texting a person. Literally, I like try to treat myself as if I'm another person sometimes. And just like text myself like I'm texting a friend. And that kind of makes it easier when you do it like that as well. But I definitely understand with like writing all day.
Girl, you things. I'm just like, okay.
No, I understand that because it's like, I think it's kind of like when people, like as kids when they made us read books for like a grade pretty much, but it took the joy out of reading because it was required. I feel like that's what's happening with you with like they're making like with school, like you have to write. So like the joyous parts of writing, it feels tiring because you read all day. I get that.
Yeah, I piggyback off of that, but don't talking to yourself. You're trying to play it like you're not talking to yourself.
People are gonna see them. I'm like, I know she ain't talking to me.
I would put my earpod in so fast just to make it look good.
Yes. And it's kind of fun to do too.
It is.
Low key, they think I'm on the phone, but I'm not. They think I'm on the phone, but I'm not.
Because I used to be a hardcore journaler, like since middle school. I don't know journaler is not a real word, but whatever.
It's your word.
But I used to be hardcore with it from middle school all the way up until college. And then I started really struggling because again, what you were saying about school always having you write, and I'm like, dang, how am I gonna balance both? So I started doing that around the time and started like, you know what, I can still process, I can still get it out. You know what I'm saying? And it just became easier to just be able to get it out as much as you can while also, having that balance. So that's a good one. I would, of course now I'll do it to you on the screen. Just out here everywhere talking.
Yeah.
You can play it off with your phone, but overall, I do feel a huge difference. It is easier going about it that way because now it kind of takes you out from like outside of the book.
Yeah.
You gotta just speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes with journaling, it kind of gets your voice lost a little bit. You know what I mean? So when you actually hear it, it sometimes makes it better, like a huger difference.
Yeah.
When you can hear your thoughts and hear your emotions, and you're able to, like, it's like your own therapist in a sense.
Yeah.
It's just without the chair, without the person, without the payment.
She said without the
You know, free therapy. That's the best way I do it too.
Yeah.
If I was time right, I would hey, so.
No, for real. I feel that. So that can help you too if you really just like you need to get the feelings out, but it's like the writing is just like, this doesn't even feel like joyful anymore. This is tiresome. Talk to yourself on the phone, record a voice note, text yourself, even on like if you want to go to Google Docs, because typing it that way is kind of easier than like writing down physically. Like I think having multiple modes in how you take care of yourself is interesting because like that's all journaling because you're recording how you're feeling, but it's like different ways to do it because you're writing, you have texting yourself, you have Google Docs, you have voice memos. So like I think like when being able to have multiple things, so like if you feel a certain type, if you feel more called to one than the other, you always have a way to get it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, you always have a way to get it out of you. Yeah,
that's smart. But I do notice like with journaling, when I actually do physically write, it's like does this happen to you guys? Like I'm focusing on one thing. I'm like, okay, this problem's bothering me, whatever. And then my mind will just jump to something else. And I'm like, okay, well, we're transitioning to this one. And then it's like, okay, this is bothering me. And then it's like I kind of solve an issue while I'm writing.
Yes.
Or it's like I have a realization, like, okay, this is why it's really bothering me because of this type of thing or whatever.
That's the best way.
That's the best. If I feel some type of way and I don't know why I feel some type of way, I write it down. Because I think I heard someone like your subconscious comes to the top. Like the things that you didn't even know were like bothering you, they start to flow. Because you think I think sometimes we think there's something when we're upset about something, when there's something bothering us. There's so many things happening, but like writing slows our brains down, and then our brains and bodies are kind of, I guess, feel more aligned. And we start to get to like the real root of why this bothers me. I feel abandoned. I feel rejected. I feel unheard. You didn't even know you felt that way. You thought you were mad because they treated you weird because they ignored you, but no, it's like it's a deeper root of like I feel alone or whatever it might be. So that does happen to me though. It's the weirdest thing. But I'm glad I'm normal. I'm like, am I crazy? What is happening? That happens to me too. It's like I love it though. It helps like because so often like when we go through life and things are so busy, we don't always know why we feel the way we feel because we don't have time to process it. Literally, we're just like next thing. Like, wake up, school, work, boom, So journaling is like so nice to just slow down and actually even know why I feel the way I feel.
So do you feel like wellness is pretty much a similar thing?
Oh yeah, I definitely understand, of course. And also for me, like I also treat it like I'm feeding my soul in a sense. You know, because like a lot of this year, you know, especially prior, we got COVID, pandemic, everybody was home quarantine and all that. But this year was really where I felt, okay, you know what, I'm reclaiming my time. And so I could really tap into that one. I feel like all of us went through that moment where we were quarantined, we kind of went through a depressive state, you know, that whole thing. So mine's honestly, I was still trying to get a handle on it because I didn't even realize I was depressed.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I didn't really understand what depression was until honestly last year. And I was like, oh, this is what it is. And when I started realizing the traits and the symptoms of it, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get this. So this year I really have been like doing my due diligence to just like push through it. And I noticed more so, of course, seasonal depression, we're in that time of season where it happens. So I push myself a lot more to feed that soul. And I feel like that's wellness to me. That's how I define it. So as you already know, I've been out here just living my best inner child.
I love that for you.
I've been really trying to feed her because I didn't even realize she was still there having those feelings, you know? And I feel like it really came to light during quarantine, and it really showed me like, oh no, we got to make sure she's okay. You know? So that's why I started just really like going full throttle this year. Just really taking advantage of this year and being like, you know what, while I'm on my gap year, let's do it. Let's go full throttle with it.
That's really good.
I have a question for you, number if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What things were you experiencing that you didn't realize were depression?
Yeah.
Was it like lack of interest in things that you liked?
Well, yeah, my interest started decreasing a lot in certain things. Like when people would, you know, reach out and be like, hey, I haven't seen you forever, let's link up. And I'm like, I would make excuses not to show. Things like that started happening. Not necessarily with you. Not necessarily with
Interesting.
Not necessarily. She was like, I'm tired. She was like, most of the time I was sleeping, to be honest. And I noticed my fatigue would get a lot more, it was getting a lot more intense. So I was just kind of like, oh wait, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. And you know, Google. Once you start Googling,
no, that part.
you know,
I do.
Googling, like, why
am I
like questioning, like, what's going on?
Happening
And
right
I'm just
now?
like, wow, like this is unhealthy. And then like I would try to push myself, like if you would reach out to me or my other friends would reach out, let's link up. And I'm like, you know what, I need to fight this. I go out and I would feel such a huge difference. And then it was like the moment I get home, that downer feeling would come back. Yeah. So I said, oh no, I gotta get out. And again, because quarantine, it confines you. It makes you, you know, we all got comfortable and normalized that. So I think my body and my mental, everything just like completely normalized it, where I just was like content and didn't even fixate on what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Didn't really pay attention to it. But this year made it clear. I was like, oh no, it was definitely going on. That's what was happening. And I would have moments where I would just have crying spells too. Crying spells would come out of nowhere. And I just be like, what is going on? Like, this is unnormal for me. You know?
Oh, man.
Those were the main symptoms that I pretty much could possibly, I guess, catch. But there may have been some others. But those were the main three that made me like, hold up, this is alarming.